Welcome back to Moving Through the Bible. We have been moving through the Old Testament part of the Bible, talking about some prophets of Israel. Can you name one of the prophets we've talked about? We talked about Elijah, Elisha, Jonah, Hosea, Isaiah, and Jeremiah. This week, we are going to talk about Habakkuk. He came back during a time of a lot of waiting. Boy, can we all relate to that feeling. There's a lot of waiting in life. Waiting for dinner to be ready, waiting to be tall enough to go on a ride. So much waiting that Dr. Seuss even included it in one of his books. Oh, the places you'll go. The waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Habakkuk, the prophet, was also waiting. God told Habakkuk what God was going to do to the southern kingdom of Israel, called Judah. And all Habakkuk could do was pray and wait. Well, let's get started. Find a spot to sit crisscross applesauce where you can still see the screen, and go. Great spot choice. We need to find our telescope. Lift our hands up, and we twist all the way around this way. But it isn't there. So we lift our hands up again, and we twist all the way over here. Not there either. There it is. We hold it up to our eye and adjust. We see Habakkuk. Hang on tight. Here we go. We stand up and we give a few deep sniffs. We smell green grass. And we see a nice sunny blue sky day. We think it's going to be a peaceful day until we see some people looking really mad run past. We start jogging to keep up with them. One person shouts, "Hey, give that back." We see someone carrying a jar and trying to run away. Someone else steps up and says, "Stop, that is not yours." The person who's stealing the thing looks around both ways, and then he puts the jar down and he runs away really quick. We see the prophet Habakkuk sitting on a stone nearby. He's praying, "God, people here are not following your rules. They are taking things that belong to others. They are arguing. Why do you let bad things happen? It feels like the bad guys win." He gets up and spins around as he suddenly hears God's reply. God says,
"Be patient and wait. Although it looks like the bad people are winning now, eventually bad things will happen to them too."
Come down to a crouch. God was going to raise up, lift up your hands, the Babylonians. Wait a minute. We stretch our hands like flapping wings. The Babylonians are the really super duper bad guys. We come down and stretch up again because God says the Babylonians are like an eagle swooping to catch its dinner. They swoop in and will hurt the Israelites. They are really mean. They worship idols. Turn to the side and lower one knee to the ground. They don't follow God. They steal. They hurt people. Why would God raise them up? Come up. Go down to your other knee. As Habakkuk prays, "God, you don't like it when people are evil. Why are you," hands to the front, "letting the bad guys win by using them to get Israel in trouble?" We've all had similar questions before. Come on to your bellies and lift up your heads. We all wondered why good things happen to bad people sometimes, and bad things happen to good people. But God answered. He said,
"You are going to be amazed. I am going to do something unbelievable."
We see Habakkuk nod his head and then stare off at a turkey that waddles by. We crouch down onto our heels in a squat, and then we wobble around in a couple circles. Gotta keep your elbows on your knees. Habakkuk praised God and knew that hard times were coming, but he just had to wait. Hands up to your chin and let out a loud sigh. He had to have faith that God had good things planned soon. It's time to come out of our story today. We sit down and we put our feet together and close our eyes. We lift our legs up and down as we think about God's message that he would allow bad things to happen to Judah, but that he had good things planned for them as well. Thanks for helping me tell the story today. This story had a very big message that we can use in our daily lives today. God is always working on his plan, even when it seems like he has left us waiting. God said he would judge Israel for their sins by allowing the king of Babylon to hurt Judah and take the Israelites away to a different land. But God would eventually bring them back. When Habakkuk was feeling frustrated that God wasn't immediately punishing people for doing bad things, he brought his questions and complaints to God in prayer. And God asked him to be patient, reminded him that God is always working in the world and judgment would eventually come. Sometimes we are in a waiting place, and it might not be a nice waiting place. It might be a tough time. We might not be able to understand why God is allowing the bad stuff to happen. But we can use our faith to get us through and know that God will not allow us to be hurt forever. He will make things better. A great way to wait is to pray. We could even pray and thank God that he is always with us, even in bad times. Like our memory verse says, "If my people turn from their wicked ways, then I will forgive their sins." That's 2 Chronicles 7, verse 14. Have a great week.